Here is a refined English script, optimized for a US audience. It is written with a natural, rhythmic flow suitable for a high-quality AI text-to-speech system. All script notes and special characters have been removed for a seamless reading experience. Have you ever stood at the base of a massive ancient mountain? It does not scream for your attention. It does not move to impress you. It simply exists. Yet you cannot help but look at it with awe. You feel a pull, a magnetic gravity that demands your respect without uttering a single word. Why do we spend our youth chasing the wind, trying to be loud, trying to be seen when true power lies in becoming the mountain? There is a paradox. In our modern world that destroys men, we are told that as we age we fade. We are told that relevance belongs to the young and the loud. But nature tells a different story. The lion does not need to roar to clear a path. His presence alone shifts the atmosphere of the savannah. Today we are not just talking about attraction. We are talking about a spiritual awakening of your masculinity. We are going to decode the 7 layers of a man's presence. These are not tricks. These are states of being that transform you from a man who chases into a man who attracts simply by being. Welcome to the journey inward. Let us begin with the first layer of depth, the sanctuary of the gaze. You have heard that eye contact releases dopamine or shows confidence. That is surface-level psychology. Let us go deeper. In the ancient Sanskrit traditions, there is a concept called darshan. It means the beholding of a deity or a holy person. But in our context, it means the ability to look at another human being and offer them a sanctuary. When a young man looks at a woman or a competitor, his eyes often ask for something. They ask for validation. They ask for approval. They ask, do you like me? Am I enough? This is energy vampirism. It drains the other person. But you, the man who has walked through the fires of life, your gaze must shift. You are no longer asking. You are offering. Imagine a father watching his child play. He does not need the child to validate him. He is simply holding space, watching with a protective warmth and absolute stillness. That is the gaze of the awakened man. When you look at someone now, do not try to dominate them. Instead, let your eyes say, I see you. I accept you. And I am right here, unshaken. This creates a psychological phenomenon I call the safety field. In a chaotic world, the most attractive thing a man can offer is not excitement but safety. When your eyes are calm and grounded, you become the harbor in their storm. Ask yourself this question. When I look at people, am I trying to take their attention, or am I giving them my presence? Now we ascend to the second layer. The kintsugi soul. Society tells us to hide our scars. We dye our hair, we lie about our failures, we pretend we have never been broken. But there is a Japanese art form called kintsugi. When a valuable ceramic bowl breaks, a master craftsman does not throw it away. He puts the pieces back together with gold lacquer. The bowl becomes more beautiful, more valuable, and stronger because it has been broken. The gold highlights the cracks, it does not hide them. This is a true meaning of the growth mindset. It is not just reading books or learning new skills. It is a spiritual integration of your pain. A man who pretends he has never failed is fragile. But a man who owns his history, who says, yes, I lost that business, I lost that relationship. And here's the wisdom I mined from that darkness: that man is invincible. Think of a time you were brought to your knees. Maybe it was a divorce. Maybe it was a health crisis. That was not the end of your story. That was the gold filling your cracks. When you speak to others, do not hide your scars. Wear them as medals of honor. True magnetism comes from authenticity, not perfection. A woman, a partner, or a friend does not want a plastic mannequin. They want a man who has bled, healed, and kept moving forward. Here is a question for your soul. Which scar are you still trying to hide, and how can you turn it into your greatest lesson? This brings us to the third layer, the anchor in the storm. We often confuse a balanced lifestyle with a schedule. We think it means going to the gym at 6 a.m. and eating salad. But the balance we are talking about is energetic. It is the balance between the monk and the warrior within you. The warrior acts. He protects, he builds. The monk observes. He accepts. He breathes. Most men are trapped in the warrior mode, constantly fighting, constantly stressed. Or they are lost in the monk mode, passive and drifting. The magnetic man integrates both. Imagine you are the captain of a ship in the middle of a hurricane. The crew is panicking. The waves are crashing. If the captain panics, the ship is lost. But if the captain stands at the wheel, calm, alert, and decisive, the crew finds their courage. You are the captain. The hurricane is the emotion of the people around you. It is the chaos of the economy. It is the drama of dating. If you react to every wave, you are just another passenger. But if you can observe the chaos without becoming the chaos, you become the anchor. This comes from the Stoic practice of differentiation. You must realize that the event is not the same as your reaction to the event. Between the trigger and your response, there is a space. In that space lies your freedom and your power. When a woman tests you or a colleague challenges, you do not react immediately. Take one breath. That single breath is the difference between a boy and a king. Ask yourself, Am I a thermometer that reacts to the temperature of the room? Or am I the thermostat that sets the temperature? As we move deeper into the architecture of a high-value man, we encounter the fourth layer. This is a universal principle that governs every interaction you have ever had, yet few understand it. I call this the law of relationship echo. Imagine standing in a vast deep canyon. If you scream in anger, the canyon screams anger back at you. If you whisper in fear, the canyon whispers fear back. The world is nothing but a mirror of your internal state. Many men as they age feel invisible. They feel that women look past them or that the world has moved on. They ask, why does no one value my opinion? Why is there no connection? But the hard truth is this: you do not attract what you want. You attract what you are. If you approach a conversation with a hidden need for validation, people will instinctively pull away. They feel the vacuum of your neediness. But if you approach the canyon of connection with a sense of fullness radiating the feeling that I am enough, the world will echo that abundance back to you. When you speak, do not speak to be heard. Speak because it is the truth. When you listen, do not listen to reply. Listen to understand. When you stop trying to extract value from others, you suddenly become the most valuable person in the room. This is the echo. Send out peace and you will receive admiration. Now let us step into the fifth layer, the empty cup. In a world that is loud, chaotic, and obsessed with the self, everyone is trying to be the full cup. Everyone is talking, posting, shouting, trying to prove they are important. But the Taoist masters teach us that the usefulness of a cup lies in its emptiness. If the cup is already full, it cannot hold anything new. Your social magnetism does not come from being the loudest storyteller or the funniest joker. It comes from your capacity to be the empty cup for others. This is the advanced form of social interaction. When you are with a woman or a friend or a business partner, can you completely empty your mind of your own ego? Can you create a space so safe, so void of judgment, that they feel free to pour their true selves into it? This is rare. It is intoxicating. When someone feels truly heard by you, they feel a spiritual relief. They relax. Their nervous system calms down. And in that moment, they bond to you deeper than they realize. You become their sanctuary. You are not boring them with your past glories, you are giving them the stage. And paradoxically, by stepping back, you become the center of their world. This flows naturally into the sixth layer, a concept that is the antidote to the desperation of modern dating. The art of Wu Wei. Wu Wei is an ancient concept of effortless action. It is the philosophy of water. Water does not try to flow, it simply flows. It does not argue with the rock, it flows around it, and eventually over time it wears a rock down. Many men try too hard. They force interactions. They force dates. They force success. This force creates resistance. It signals to the world that you are anxious, that you are afraid of losing. The magnetic man operates with Wu Wei. He has intention, yes, but he is detached from the outcome. He plants the seed, waters the soil, and trusts the sun. He does not dig up the seed every 5 minutes to see if it is growing. If a connection happens, beautiful. If it does not, also beautiful. This indifference is not coldness, it is a supreme trust in your own path. It sends a powerful signal that my happiness does not depend on your approval. There is nothing more attractive than a man who is completely at peace with walking away. It is the ultimate display of high value. And finally, we arrive at the seventh layer, the legacy of light. This is the summit of the mountain. The transition from the hero to the guide. Youth is often about consumption. What can I get? What can I achieve? But the mature masculine energy is about generation. What can I give? What can I leave behind? True kindness and empathy are not weaknesses. They are the overflow of your strength. A lighthouse does not run around the shore looking for boats to save. It stands tall, rooted in the rock, and shines its light. The boats find it when you live your life with a purpose that is bigger than your own ego, whether it is mentoring a younger man, building a community, or simply being a pillar of integrity. For your family, you emit a frequency of nobility. Women and society are drawn to men with a mission. They want to be part of that story. Your legacy is not the money you leave in a bank account. It is the emotional signature you leave on every soul you touch. So how do we integrate these 7 layers? How do we move from understanding this intellectually to living it viscerally? I want to offer you a practice, a simple exercise to reset your energetic signature. I call it the emotional breath observation. You can do this anywhere. In your car, before a meeting, or right now. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath in through your nose, filling your lungs completely. Hold it for a second. As you exhale, imagine you are breathing out all the neediness, all the anxiety, all the desire to impress. Let it leave your body like gray smoke. Now inhale again. This time imagine you are breathing in the solidity of the mountain. Breathe in the silence. Breathe in the gold that fills your cracks. Do this 3 times before you enter any room. It resets your nervous system. It shifts you from the boy who wants to the king who has. My friends, the journey of the older man is not a decline. It is an ascension. You have shed the frantic energy of youth to acquire the gravitational force of wisdom. You do not need to be young again. You need to be you fully, deeply, and unapologetically. The world is noisy. Be the silence that roars. If this message resonated with the man you are becoming, do not just watch and leave. Commit to this path. Subscribe to our community, share this with a brother who needs to hear it, and write in the comments below, I am the anchor. Let that be your declaration today. Walk in peace, walk in power. I will see you in the next chapter of our journey.